Hey guys, thanks for coming to hang out today. If you're new here, welcome. I am excited to be taking you on a little tour through my entire setup for my Hobonichi Weeks 2026. So I'm really excited to be back in the weeks, you guys. For 2025, I went with that little A6 Hobonichi Techo. That was a fun little one, but the size did not work for me. It's a cute planner, but I'm very excited to be back in the weeks for 2026. I just much prefer this size, the layout, the pages, the possibilities that are in here. I just much prefer it to that tiny little A6. So as you can see, I ultimately went with the Foggy Plaid design for my weeks in 2026. I went back and forth between this one, the Cosmos or Cosmic Blue, I can't remember what it was called, and that yellow one. I don't even like yellow, you guys, but I had myself convinced that I needed to put Charlie Brown and Woodstock, like all the Peanuts characters, all over that cover, and I probably would have been happy with that, but I, in the end, decided to go with the Foggy Plaid. I love a plaid. I love these colors. It coordinates perfectly with the Erin Condren that I'm also going to be using in 2026. And yeah, I just love it. I think this was a great decision. I put on my little plastic cover with Frankie, who just comes with me everywhere from weeks to weeks now. And then I did this little butterfly up at the top as well. In 2026, I am going to be doing some custom cover inserts. I'm just going to make scrapbook paper or custom ephemera mixed media paper and stick it inside the plastic cover as just like a seasonal fun cover, fun way to change things up. But I am really happy with the Foggy Plaid, and I'm going to be keeping it like this for most of the year. As for how I will be using this week's, this is just going to be like any other weeks for me. If you haven't seen my old videos, I use these to go along with my word of the year, my goals of the year, habit trackers, and a place to journal and jot down gratitude and good things. So not exactly a planner as planners are intended to be used, I guess, if there is such a thing, but I do plan and plot out my goals and habits in here, and that has worked well for me in the past in a week's, so I'm really stoked to be back in this one. All right, you guys, let's take a little walk through my setup. So the first thing I did obviously was put the plastic cover on with my stickers and then this little Velcro dot in the back. These do get bulky for me because I tend to stick a lot of things in here. So I am excited to have the little Velcro dot. I will link these for you down in the description if you want these for your closure for your Hobonichi Weeks as well. Just keep in mind that you will end up with like 623 other ones after you use just this one. But hey, I'm not going to need to buy any more for forever. But as you can see, I've already bulked this up a little bit, and we're not even into January yet. So just an extra little detail to keep this closed. Okay, so right on the inside cover is where I put my word of the year and then a little vision board that goes along with my goals, my dreams, and of course, the word of the year that I chose for myself. My word of the year for 2026 is obviously stories. I already have a video up on my channel where we made a full planner page spread for this with some inspiration and the reason why I chose the word stories for 2026. I love this little inside cover. I put some alphabet stickers over here to spell out created to create with some cute little decorative stickers to go along with it. My vision board with the washi tape, word of the year 2026. I did put some little silver stars along with it. And then I have this sticker over here in the pocket. It's not stuck down. I kept the backing on it, but it just says the writer. It's like a tarot card. Tracy sent this to me last year for my birthday, and I just love it. And I think it's so cute and goes well in here. I might add a little bit more decorative to this inside cover, but for now, I'm really happy with how this turned out. And then we're going to go into the front pages of this planner, and you guys don't expect to see anything aesthetically pleasing when it comes to my planners, especially not my Hobonichi Weeks. I love to go just for my jam, my style, and what speaks to me and relates to my word of the year, which tends to be something whimsical and fun every single time. It's no different for 2026 because we've got Scooby and the gang and the adventure continues. So in 2025, I turned 40 and I feel like I'm at that point in my life where I'm going to be making a lot of changes, a lot of growth and brave and exciting changes. I'm going to be working on some big and important goals and dreams. And basically, my motto of the year for 2026 to go along with my word is going to be the adventure continues. So I made this fun little collage for these front pages. These stickers, these little houses, they're all different stickers. I think a couple of them are like 2-on-1, but I just stacked them up along the bottom here. These are from Journalsay. I just love them so much. These are very whimsical and Tim Burton to me. I thought they went so cute with the Scooby and the Gang sticker, and I think it's so fun how it looks like they're looking over at the houses. And then I had some other Journalsay stickers. I think they were like they're called Wizard or Magic or something like that. I cut up one of them that had a cauldron on it, but it had all of these little like steam or magic swirlies coming out of it, some stars. And then I put this wand going down this page over here, and Fred, he's looking out. I just think it's so cute. I love this so much. This is so very me. It's going to make me super happy to flip this open and look at this page every single day in 2026. And then we have the little like overview calendars at a glance. I set these up to keep track of my goals for 2026. So obviously 2025 and 2027 are just on here for reference. So I set up the 2026 page. More Scooby, more whimsy. This is actually a lot of color for me. I usually like very neutral or darker colors, but I thought it was time to, get out of my comfort zone, have some fun with Scooby and whimsy in 2026. So I color coded my goals. I'm going to be working on my goals quarterly in 2026, and I'm just going to have a color code system to know what I'm working on and to keep track of things. So down here at the bottom, I am going to list out what my goals are, and then I will either color them in or put a sticker over the top of each month as we pass through them. I'm going to have 4 major goals for 2026 and 4 quarters to work on them. I'm going to list them out down here. I have a health and wellness goal, a goal pertaining to my family life, a goal pertaining to my writing life, and then a goal pertaining to a different way I will be measuring success for myself in the new year. I really love this page. It's pretty basic, pretty simple, but in the past, in my weeks, I have not used this calendar page, and we don't need to. Not every page in our planners needs to be used and filled out, but I'm excited to finally have a use for this one, a system for my goals, a way to track them, and then a spot to update them. The next set of calendar pages is going to be a continuation for my goals. As you can see, I have the same color code system up at the top. I'm going to be using my own mountains to pebbles goal setting and tracking system in this planner. Basically, that system is taking your big, huge mountainous goals and breaking it down into smaller boulders, rocks, and pebbles, smaller and smaller achievable pieces for your days, your weeks, your months, your quarter, that sort of thing. So I'm going to list out the bigger chunks of things that I need to be working on up in these blank lines up here, and then coloring them in with effort, sort of like a progress bar as it goes throughout the month to see how long it takes me to work on that one project. Then maybe I can gauge going into the next quarter if I need more or less time on something. But again, I'm excited to be using these calendar pages to have a plan for them. It might be something that I just check in on and update at the end of a week instead of every single day, but I am going to try to keep on top of it for every single day. That way I don't forget or lose track of anything. Then we have the monthly calendars, and right now for the month of December, I'm going in every single day and writing down things that I want to focus on in 2026, things that are going to be a priority for me. That's how I'm using December, and that's why I'm already moved into this planner because, well, one, I don't have a weeks from 2025, but also I set my priorities for the new year throughout the month of December, and then I use the weekly layouts to figure out types of spreads and trackers and systems and layouts and even materials that work really good for me in this planner. And that way I have sort of a system and a plan already established when we start the new year. But for right now, I don't actually know how I want to use these monthly calendars. Because this is going to be a lot of gratitude and journaling for me heavily throughout the actual weeks pages in this planner, I don't think that using the monthly calendar for gratitude, even though, we can never have enough gratitude, I don't think it's going to serve me well to put gratitude again on the calendar pages because it's going to be redundancy and I want to use these well, especially when it comes to my goals. So if you have any ideas, let me know, but I do want to use these monthly calendars for some sort of goal setting or tracking or maybe positivity about my goals. I'm not sure yet, but I definitely want to figure that out. If you missed my last video, here is one of the layouts that I am going to be trying starting this upcoming week in this planner. We've got my habit tracker over here. We've got a little spot on the days of the week for me to write down my word count goal. I am a published author and I am writing more books, so I want to track the amount of words that I write every single day in this planner. As far as decorative goes, I love this. I always love decorating the Hobonichi Weeks. It always brings me so much joy because I'm able to use my tiny little stickers on here. I'm able to use fun little strips of washi tape. I just love decorating it. But as far as the filling in goes, we're still feeling out some different layouts and styles. But if you want to subscribe and follow along, this is what I will be doing all throughout the year in 2026 in those weeks. I will be trying out different things. I will try to pin down what works best for me for going after goals and dreams and all kinds of tracking. I will be doing plan with me's for the decorative layout, and I will do some check-ins, some updates after it's all filled in. There is going to be a lot of personal stuff ending up in here, but I will definitely have some things to share with you guys. But now let's go to the back pages. I'm so excited for the back pages in a week's. You guys, they're always so much fun. You get so many of them. So what I'm doing back here is first and foremost, my reading tracker. All the books of 2026 are going to land in the back of here, and I'm so excited. I shared with you guys that I had a full-on reading journal, book tracker journal for 2025, and it got to be a little bit too much. It got to be a little overwhelming creatively, and I just didn't have enough to fill up the full pages for that size of a notebook or journal. I'm excited to have it in my weeks again for 2026. I already have the full thing completed, so I'm not going to have to worry about decorative and being creative every single month of the year. I put stories at the top because, again, it is my word of the year, but also this is where I will be collecting the stories that I read. And my theme is just my love of stories. I did a mix of black and white printables from Canva along with some little colorful washi tape stickers that I have to represent my love of the classics as well as modern storytelling. So this is my cover page. I love it so dang much. Then we go into my 26 in 26 as well as my priorities TBR. So my 26 in 26 is, as you can see, not titles, not a goal of actual books that I want to read in 2026. This is different for me. This is probably different for most people's reading journals, but I actually only want to read 26 books in 2026. So this tracker is to let me know, okay, Alana, you're getting close to that reading quota, not because I want to limit my reading, not because I don't enjoy and love and want to devour so many books. It's because I really, really need to be writing my own. And I have spent a lot of time reading stories from others and not writing my own books. And it's just time to get back to it. And that's the point of this planner, is to help me with my goals. So I I might end up reading more than 26 books in 2026, but this is to keep myself accountable and just be aware of the fact that, okay, if I'm already 14 in by the end of January, it's time to pump the brakes and work on my own writing. And then over here we have my priority TBR. So again, unlike maybe a lot of people's reading journals, I am prioritizing series that I've already started, that I'm partway into or halfway into, and I want to catch up back on them before I read anything else. Now, I will be reading with our book club, and then I'm considering doing a seasonal book club here on the channel. We are currently reading Little Women together for the holiday season, and I'm considering doing that together for every season. So just a couple a year, and then, not to make everybody feel overwhelmed or like they're part of like a high pressure book club where they have to check in or anything like that. Just something fun to do together seasonally. But you guys can let me know what you think. Anyways, that's that. These are my priorities, and I will be reading those before other things. Also, Dungeon Crawler Carl Book 8 belongs on here, but I didn't put it on here because I'm already all the way caught up to that. So I'm just going to read that one the second it comes out as a new release. And then we have my book club picks and buddy reads page right here. I love this page. It's really simple. This whole setup is fairly simple, but I think it's so cute. Oh, and this washi tape is from Journalsay, and the stickers, a lot of them that you'll see in here also from Journalsay, I have them linked with a discount code. Anyways, now we go into just my months of the year. Keeping it super, super simple, Canva printables, little washi tape stickers. I made these months in Canva, and I put a little piece of paper that I just colored in with mild liner to write down my book of the month underneath it. So really quickly, we've got January, February, March, and April. I'm going to try to not sing the months of the year song, you guys. March and April, I especially love. I love this little boat right here and the seagull stickers. I mean, you have a sticker for everything when you can find random seagulls, but I just love this. Then we have May and June, went with a little Alice theme for this one. And then July and August. These are sticking together a little bit. It's all right. September and October. November and December. And then we have, and here's where we keep the nostalgia. This is my favorite page, you guys. This is where I'm going to be writing down if I have a reread that is nostalgic to me, if I find a new book but it feels nostalgic to me, maybe if I find the time to read something that was published in 1985, the year that I was born. I'm going to track all of these back here. This is just a full page spread dedicated to nostalgia and nostalgia alone. Super simple, but I love it. Then the last page for my reading journal stuff back here is just my book of the year. So I will write a little thing about it and then maybe put like a picture of the cover or something over on this side. And then we have just a bunch of blank pages that I'm going to dedicate to whatever I feel like putting back there, whatever I need it for at the time. So maybe journaling or one line a day. I'm going to be doing some swatching back here because, sometimes it's hard to find the right pen or marker or highlighter for those Hobonichi pages. But then we get into the pre-made pages that come in the back of this planner. So we've got the favorites page, and because I already have that full reading journal set up, I'm not going to dedicate this to books. We don't go out to eat hardly ever, so I'm not going to dedicate this to restaurants. And then I have had the same favorite music I've had since I was 5. They're not going to be putting out anything new, so I'm not going to dedicate it to music. So I decided to go with movie episodes. I am going to put either my favorite movies or my favorite TV show episodes on here. If and when we watch something new, again, I'm all about the nostalgia. So is my husband and kiddos. We like to watch the same things, and we're going to be giving up streaming again in the new year. So I'll figure some things out to put here. We're going to be rewatching old favorites of like MacGyver and Stargate and Star Trek and things like that. So maybe I will put some favorite episodes in here. And then if we do catch a new release movie and we have a favorite, that's going to go in here as well. The My 100 pages is where I am going to be tracking my own chapters and episodes. Not my episodes, but my episodes. For my own writing, my own books. I do have a book, a story idea that I want to serialize, that I started to serialize for Kindle Vella before they canceled it. I'm going to maybe scrap that and recycle some of the characters and some of the world building, but I do still want to serialize something and release it in episodes in 2026 in addition to my other stories that I'm working on. So I want to try to write 100 chapters and episodes of some or many books in 2026, and this is where I'm going to be keeping track of them. This memories page, pretty straightforward. I love the decorative that they already have on here. I think it's so cute. So I'm obviously just going to write out some favorite memories, maybe some travel. We do like to have road trips together as a family, so I will probably document stuff like that in here. I especially love to mark down the audiobook that we listened to on the road trip, anything interesting we saw along the way, and then new and favorite food places that we try. So that's probably what this is going to be dedicated to, especially considering that the weeks is so easy to bring along on travel. And then last but not least, you guys, the 365 days checkoff sheet. This one is a huge one for me, you guys, and I started to put addresses in here before I remembered that I hadn't done a flip through yet. Ignore that. Anyways, this one is a huge one for me. I was not going to talk about this on my channel because I shared a huge goal on my channel in 2025, and some comments did not handle that very well. They kind of, I don't know, hired themselves as my patrol officers to sort of eagle eye my videos to see what I was up to and whether or not I was following through on the goal, which is kind of weird. But I want to share for the people who might need help with this themselves, the people who want to join me on this journey, or people, I don't expect people to show up as cheerleaders in the comments, but I definitely don't need supervisors. Anyways, my 365 checkoff sheet is going to be for 365 days of no sugar. Yeah, so you guys know COVID almost killed me in 2021. I don't say that flippantly. Sometimes I have an awkward laugh at the end when I say that, but that's because it's absolutely terrifying and I still don't know how to handle it. And I haven't recovered fully from that. All these years later, I still struggle to breathe on a daily basis. I'm constantly using a steroid nebulizer, and I just need to take control of it myself. Every doctor that I've talked to, they just want to put me on stronger steroids. Nothing is actually solving the problem. So I am going on a journey in 2026, you guys, of zero sugar. If you want to come along with me, if you want an accountability partner, we can do it together. If you want to pray for me, Lord knows I can use the help because I have a sugar problem. And I read a quote, oh gosh, months ago now on Pinterest, but it's stuck in my head and it's really bothered me ever since. And I'm not going to get it exactly right, but it was something like, if you want to know just how much control a vice has over your life, try going without it. And every time I try to go without sugar, I fail. So in 2026, I am doing the Mediterranean diet and I am giving up sugar. Now, I am going to give myself 8 cheat days. And those are mainly because I'm not skipping anybody's birthday cake. I won't do that. I am a mom. I'm not skipping anybody's birthday cake. And then also, I would like to have my beloved Dutch Bros on Mother's Day and on my birthday. So that's 6, and then we've just got 2 cheat days of wiggle room for like a Thanksgiving dessert or something on Halloween. 8 days, that's all I'm allowed. And if I go beyond that, then it's a failure. If I do succeed, I'm getting myself a new laptop for my writing. I wanted to have a little bit of a motivator to push. Gosh, just being able to breathe should be enough, but I have a sugar problem. So if I succeed at this, I'm getting myself something to support my goals. So I'm going to get myself a new laptop for writing, and I'm going to get myself a Coach tote bag to put it in. So if you want to join me, come along. What this entails, I am not going to do the sugar-free thing. So I'm not going to quit sugar, but also have diet soda or sugar-free this or that at Dutch Bros. I'm not doing sugar or the artificial sweeteners. The only sugar that I'm not going to be quitting is if it's in a recipe. So I love to make homemade food for my family. We cook all of our meals at home. So if I'm baking sandwich bread and it calls for a teaspoon of sugar, I'm not going to leave that out. If I'm making a sauce for stir fry and it calls for a sprinkle of sugar, I'm not going to leave that out. So those are the rules. That is my challenge. That is one of my big, huge, enormous goals in 2026. I'm incredibly nervous, but hopeful. I have to make these changes, you guys. I want to get healthy, and I also want to just not have any vices. I don't like that. I don't like things like sugar having that much control over my life. So come along with me if you want to do it together. Pray for me if you're going to be along the sidelines. It's not going to be easy, but I definitely need the motivation. So in this planner, I will do a quarterly check-in. I will take you guys along on some updates with those calendars in the front, my mountains to pebbles, and then the coloring in of my 365 days in the back. And that is my entire 2026 Hobonichi Weeks setup. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know how your planner setups for 2026 are going. Are you in the weeks? Are you using it for something different as well? Let me know. I'm looking forward to catching up with you down in the comments below. You guys, thanks for hanging out with me for this one. That's all for this one. I will see you in my next one. Tell your dog I said hi. Bye, guys.